Driving through a place you've never been, but you know exactly where you are. The gently curving streets with names like Whispering Pines Way, the houses with two-car garages that dominate the facade, the manicured lawns, each with a single lonely tree. It could be in Ohio, Texas, or California. It doesn't matter. You are in the suburban everywhere. It's the most successful housing model in human history, and to many, it represents the pinnacle of the American and European dream: safety, space, and ownership. But have you ever wondered why, in countries that champion individuality, our most personal space, our homes, looks so mass-produced? Why is the architecture of aspiration so uniform? This isn't a story about lazy architects. It's a story about a perfect system. A financial, legal, and psychological machine perfected over 70 years to build one thing with ruthless efficiency, not communities, but commodities. Welcome to the hidden blueprint of the modern suburb. Welcome to Simple Things, Surprising Histories. Today, we're pulling back the vinyl siding on the world we built. Why do all suburbs look the same? The sameness starts not on the ground, but in the bank. To understand the suburban landscape, you must understand the financial logic of risk aversion. Building a neighborhood of 500 homes requires staggering upfront capital. A developer doesn't have that cash, they get a loan from a bank. The bank's primary concern is not beauty or diversity, but collateral. They need to be sure that if the developer fails, they can sell these half-built houses to someone else. How do you make a house the most bankable, sellable, low-risk product possible? You make it inoffensively familiar. You use designs that have already sold 1,000 times before. You minimize customizations. You repeat the same floor plans, flipping the blueprint to create the illusion of variety. This is why you'll see the same 5 house models, known in the industry as the Aspen, the Charleston, the Savannah, repeated ad infinitum, just with different siding colors, visuals, animation showing how mass production of components, prefab roof trusses, identical windows, vinyl siding, lowers cost. This is the builder's menu principle. Just like a fast food chain has a limited menu to streamline supply and training, a large-scale developer has a limited portfolio of approved plans. Every unique curve, custom window, or unusual room shape is a point of failure, a chance to slow down construction, confuse subcontractors, and scare the bank. The system is engineered to build houses the way we build cars, on an assembly line just spread out over a field. The financial machine demands repetition, but it was a government policy that gave this machine the land to run on. If finance provided the engine, then Euclidean zoning provided the tracks. Named after the town of Euclid, Ohio, which won a landmark Supreme Court case in 1926, this is the system that legally mandates separation. It's the rulebook that says houses can only be built here, shops there, and offices way over there. Its original intent was noble, to prevent a polluting factory from opening next to a school. But its legacy has been catastrophic for community design. Euclidean zoning outlawed the traditional walkable neighborhood. It made the corner store illegal. It made the small apartment building over shops illegal. It mandated large minimum lot sizes, your house must sit on at least 1 acre, setbacks, your house must be 30 feet from the road, and street widths, roads must be wide enough for 2 fire trucks to pass. These rules weren't created organically. They were packaged into model codes by influential advisory groups and adopted by thousands of towns seeking a modern standard. The result is the suburban pod. Instead of a connected grid, you get a series of pods: a housing pod, a shopping pod, a school pod, connected only by high-speed arterial stroads, forcing every trip into a car. The law doesn't just allow this pattern, it requires it. The uniformity you see is literally written into the municipal code. But who benefits from this locked-in system? The financial engine built it. The legal blueprint mandated it. But the system is now locked in place by two powerful forces: homeowner psychology and the industrial complex of sprawl. First, the psychology of the single-family home as an investment. For most families, their home is their largest financial asset. This creates an intense, rational desire for protective homogeneity. Homeowners fear anything different: a smaller house, an apartment building, a corner store, because they've been taught it might lower property values. This leads to fierce opposition to any change, often organized through homeowners associations, HOAs. HOAs, with their rules about grass height and fence colors, are the micro-police of this sameness, enforcing conformity to protect the collective investment. The dream of individuality collapses under the weight of collective financial anxiety. Second, the sprawl industrial complex. An entire economy is built on building and maintaining this model. Not just home builders, but the industries that supply them: asphalt companies, sewer pipe manufacturers, garage door makers, lawn fertilizer producers. Furthermore, local governments become addicted to the growth Ponzi scheme. They approve new subdivisions for the upfront tax revenue, but the long-term cost of maintaining the far-flung roads, pipes, and services far exceeds the tax base those low-density homes provide. To pay the bills, the town must approve more sprawl, kicking the financial can down the road. It's a pyramid scheme with asphalt. The system is now a perfect loop. Banks finance the familiar. Laws mandate the separation. Homeowners defend the uniformity. The sprawl economy profits from the expansion. We are trapped in a machine that reproduces itself, generation after generation. So, the suburban sameness is not a lack of imagination. It's the logical output of a system where finance minimizes risk through repetition. Law mandates separation and uniformity, and our own psychology defends the resulting pattern to protect our life savings. We didn't choose beige houses. We chose a financial instrument that happens to be a house, and the system filled in the details. But cracks are appearing in the stucco. A new generation, burdened by long commutes and social isolation, is demanding missing middle housing, duplexes, townhomes, and small apartments in walkable neighborhoods. Cities, facing bankruptcy from infrastructure costs, are reforming their zoning codes, banning single-family-only zoning, as seen in Minneapolis, Auckland, and parts of California. The age of the three-car garage fortress is meeting the economics of climate change and the human desire for connection. The future of where we live might not look like the past 70 years. It might look a lot more like the 70 years before that, mixed, diverse, and built for people, not just for cars and spreadsheet algorithms. If this look at the world outside your window changed how you see your street, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm you want more deep dives like this. Subscribe to Simple Things, Surprising Histories. Maybe next time, we'll explore the hidden history and psychology of the objects you touch 100 times a day without thought. The doorknob, the light switch, the key. What secrets do they hold? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. And remember, the world is designed. The question is, who drew the blueprint?